Welcome back to Spider-Man 2099 Dark Genesis, the conclusion, here at Comicstorian, where we give you audio dramas of hot comic books so that you know what to go out and buy for yourself. Carnage 2099 and Halloween Jack have created chaos in Nueva York. Spider-Man, Moon Knight, Blade, and many other heroes are working to stop them. Can they stop the bloodthirsty villains, or is Nueva York doomed? Find out today. The Alchemax board is meeting again, with Nelson telling them that they can't stop the Carnage Hive, but they have to save the Alchemax brand when this is all over. Philanthropy is the future of marketing. Let's open our hospitals back up. No restrictions this time. Guarantee safe, secure access to all citizens, thanks to the public eye, Nelson suggested. The rest of the board agrees and signs off. And once again alone in his panic palace, Nelson slams his fist against the wall and looks at his mask. The mask of Daredevil. The punishment won't be enough. My senses scream. They don't lie. Fire, the death. I know hell when I smell it. And every hell needs a devil, he whispers. In the city, the heroes are trying to protect the innocents from Carnage's hive. Venom doesn't understand as she fights back with Spider-Man. Why spare these sheep? Leaving a throat unopened wounds us, Venom snarls. Miguel nods. You know what? You're right. Since it's so painful for you to keep the living alive, you take Carnage's undead and be yourself, he says. Venom smiles, her tongue wagging around as she turns and leaps into the undead horde. You do understand us after all, she shouts with joy. The rest of the heroes keep fighting, with Blade facing against Halloween Jack while Moon Knight fights against Flipside. But plasma rounds suddenly rain from the sky and cut through everyone without remorse. Spider-Man looks up in shock to see the Punisher aiming a large gun at the crowds below. Command, this is the Punisher. I am on site. Casualties mounting, engaging the enemy, Punisher says in a robotic voice. He leaps down into the crowd, and Spider-Man turns to him in surprise. Gallows? Heard you were dead, Spider-Man says. But the Punisher whirls on him and brings up his pistol, aiming it at Spider-Man's head. The pistol moves slightly, and Gallows begins to open fire at the various undead. Shocking hell, Miguel says as he ducks out of the way. The rest of the heroes keep fighting Flipside, with Moon Knight ripping off the robot's arm and Spider-Woman punching through its chest. Blade is finally here, driving his sword through the monster's head. No meat, no fun, Blade growls. The plan finally begins to take effect as Spider-Man is wounded. Carnage turns, getting the scent of the mutated blood. The rest of the heroes continue to fight as Spider-Man leaps away, with Carnage giving chase, knocking aside cars and Hive members in his mad dash to get Spider-Man's blood. Almost there, ready the ghost room, Spider-Man says over his comms. Spider-Man swings through the air, but Carnage leaps up and knocks him out of the sky. Luckily, they crash through the walls of the ghost room, and Ghost Rider appears. Spider-Man delivers. Miracles do exist, he jokes. Spider-Man tries to struggle up, but is too weak. No time, Zero. It won't be down for long, he gasps. But Ghost Rider snaps his fingers and activates the room. Hit the bench, Spider. I'm on, Ghost Rider says. Carnage finally struggles up and surveys the ghost apparition. Wait! Where's your heart? Your blood? What are you? Carnage asks. But Ghost Rider is suddenly behind him, grabbing hold of the monster. The name's Ghost Rider, the spirit of slaughter's past, he says as his head burns brighter. The room continues to draw out the oxygen as Carnage roars and slams Ghost Rider into the wall. I remember you, Rider! Another so-called rebel who was protecting the have-nots, he growls. And Ghost Rider nods. Keep talking. Blood needs air, you need blood. I don't, Ghost Rider snaps, and Carnage slams them into another wall. And What if I break your little suck chamber? He asks as the room begins to shake around them. Outside, Miguel is trying to seal his wounds, but Ghost Rider suddenly appears in front of him. Patch quickly. I went hard, held him there as long as I could. The vacuum was locked and engaged. Deoxygenation was at 98%. Carnage's cells were dying, but he got out before the collapse, Ghost Rider tells him. Miguel nods. He's near death, Zero. If we find him before he feeds, we can still end this, Miguel says. At Avengers Plaza, the Horde seems to be rushing away, with Venom cheering. But Halloween Jack calls them back, ordering their followers to rally around him. We don't let Carnage end, Jack cheers. Meanwhile, on the rooftops above, Daredevil once more leaps down into his city. He can sense Carnage somewhere, wounded and nearly defeated. He thinks he can hide, but nobody hides from Daredevil, the hero shouts. The heroes continue to fight, with Blade squaring off against Halloween Jack, slamming him through the doors of a convenience store, demanding to know why he is doing this. How many have died? For what? Love of mischief? I should eat your eyeballs, clown! Blade snarls. But Jack merely smiles through the blood dripping down his face. Go ahead, Dr. Zombie! It'd certainly be in character, Jack hisses. Outside, Moon Knight is trying to keep the innocents out of the sights of Gallows. She rushes forward and pushes aside his pistol. Enough, Gallows! Carnage's hive deserves justice, but death? They are pawns! She snaps. Punisher regards her for a moment before raising his pistol and shooting her in the head. The Moon Knight heals rapidly. Cannot punish me, Gallows, she says. Suddenly, Daredevil leaps out of the night sky and slams into Punisher's back, knocking him to the ground. Go, Moon Knight, the Punisher is mine, he says as he motions down to the street below. Blade is 2 blocks over. He's gone full zombie. Talk him down, Daredevil says. Moon Knight nods and rushes off into the night. Venom and Spider-Woman continue to fight, with Venom not understanding why they are showing anyone mercy. You may be right, but if we kill Carnage, these people would be free. We must be brutal, but against the puppeteer, not his puppets, she explains before ordering Venom to go and find Spider-Man. Blade and Jack continue to fight, with Blade punching a hole through the Mischief Maker's chest. Blade breathes heavily, having fully embraced his monstrous nature, but Jack merely smiles. That was easier than I thought! Making a mess of you, I mean. Be seeing ya, hungry man. Try not to eat any of your friends, Jack says before disappearing and leaving a confused Blade behind. Meanwhile, Spider-Man has tracked Carnage to the teleport of Manhattan. The public eye is trying to hold off the hordes of the Hive, having been drawn there by Carnage. Venom joins Spider-Man in the fight, helping to hold back the undead monsters. The building behind them begins to rumble, and suddenly the walls explode to reveal a massive Carnage. Both Spider-Man and Venom look up in surprise. He's healed and bigger than before, Spider-Man shouts in shock. Elsewhere, Daredevil and Punisher continue to fight. Daredevil is trying to get through to the real Gallows, not the programmed killer that Alchemax has turned him into. But he finally uses his board member access code. Punisher suddenly locks up and falls to his knees. What did you do to me? Punisher asks in surprise as he falls to the ground. Emergency recall code. Thought I could get through to you, Jake. There's always next time, Daredevil says. Meanwhile, Moon Knight looks up as Blade approaches her. Blade, you do not look your best, she notes. At the teleport, Carnage has rushed into the crowd, slashing at the public eye officers as he shouts to his hive. Fight! Stand up! Show the world how wrong it was to hurt you! Stand for the Hive! He bellows. As Venom and Spider-Man keep fighting, Miguel notes that the fire is spreading. But if it destroys the teleport, Carnage will be trapped. He turns back to the public eye officers and orders them to push out and try to get the people away from the burning building. Spider-Man and Venom push forward, squaring off against the rampaging Carnage. Carnage whirls on them. Well, look at this! The one they slice me from, and the one I'd like to slice open and suck dry. Nice of you to join me in this little pressure cooker of yours. Who cooks first? Carnage asks. Venom snarls. Ask the spider. We'd eat you raw. She growls. And the pair leap at the monster, with Venom biting into its back. Funny, you don't taste like science, Venom notes. Spider-Man kicks at Carnage's head, but it knocks him to the ground and stabs him in the stomach. Venom slashes through the monster's tail and drags Spider-Man to safety. As Venom turns back to Carnage in the burning building, she suddenly charges forward. Carnage was clipped from us, born from us. Let him burn with us too, Venom bellows as she slams into the monster and pushes them both into the roaring flames of the teleport. As the flames consume them, Spider-Man can hear Venom shouting, "You refuse to see the truth, Carnage. You're a bargain basement butcher. Only one of us is truly lethal," Venom shouts. As Carnage dies, his undead hive falls to the ground, defeated. Spider-Woman joins Spider-Man as he continues to look into the flames. Venom's in there. I barely knew her. It should have been me. We're still here. But at what cost? The city's an open wound, he says to his alien friend. And Spider-Woman nods. Consider, Miguel. A wounded city can still heal, she says. And so, the riots end. With the heroes pulling back to recover, Blade joins Moon Knight on the moon, getting his hunger for flesh under control. Daredevil continues to stalk the city, hunting for Halloween Jack, who had taken the face of Cecilson on the board of Alchemax. Jake Gallows is returned to the public eye, and what remains of the man is still being worked on. Venom may have survived, part of the symbiote having been used to heal Aaliyah's father. And Spider-Man continues to protect his city at all costs. And that is the conclusion to Spider-Man 2099 Dark Genesis. I hope you guys enjoyed this story. It was quite of a ride, with many different heroes from the 2099 crew showing up. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, please be sure to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, click that bell icon, and leave a comment down below. I'm Dan, and I hope to see you next time at the next series here at Comicstorian.